Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any question, please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Like most people, I consider health to be the most important aspect of my life. And in order to achieve health, food plays a central role. If you eat food that is healthy, you will have a healthy body and healthy mind. And this is the reason I developed the fast cooking system. At first, it's to help me to eat as healthy as possible. And I realized that I can help other people to do the same. And the fast cooking system will allow you to cook food from scratch using all fresh ingredients in less than 30 minutes. It is important in these days to avoid eating fast and ultra-processed food, which is available all the time, and they exert a great temptation. My fast cooking system has 4 components, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. And when you put all these 4 components together, you're able to cook a meal exactly how you would like it. And more than that is that you can cook it within an amount of time that's available to you, and for most people it's about 30 minutes. But also, when you use the fast cooking system, you will never tire of cooking because it is practical, efficient, and it's also very creative, so it makes it a lot of fun. And you will constantly explore and experiment with different approach using different food ingredients. This video is a good example, is that you're going to use spaghetti pasta noodles to make a Asian chow mein. This approach has a great deal of significance because the most important thing about home cooking is that to create as much diversity as you can so that you will not get bored with what you cook as well as what you eat. So the most important aspect is that to use common ingredients and use them in different ways. So for example, pasta noodles usually go with spaghetti meal, but if you can use it to create an Asian chow mein dish, then you can make use of these basic ingredients and to achieve varieties. And this will make your meal more interesting, and consequently you are more likely to cook because now you know that whatever you cook will create the variations that will make your food interesting. Pasta noodles are readily available in almost all supermarkets and grocery stores, and they are relatively inexpensive. And boiling pasta noodles is simple, and one of the best way to boil pasta noodles is in a wok. And I use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok to achieve this goal. And it has a large capacity. I can boil 2 pounds of pasta noodles all at once. And then I will store them in plastic containers, and they have excellent shelf life. I use some of them for spaghetti meals, but I use the others to make a chow mein. As some viewer asked me the question, is pasta noodles good for chow mein? I thought there are special kind of noodles for making chow mein. The answer is not at all. In fact, the pasta noodle is as good as any other noodles. I'm going to start out making the fried noodles first using my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I will fry the noodle lightly. This will make the noodle taste good, and this is one of the steps frequently used in making chow mein. The idea of chow mein is that the noodles are slightly fried, as in comparison to a lo mein, which the noodles is not fried at all. And frying the noodles is relatively simple. The most important thing is that you should season your wok first. I use my spot seasoning method to season my stainless wok. You can take a look at this video for more details. I add the noodles directly to the wok after I season the wok. The important thing about making a chow mein, before you fry the noodles, you should store the noodles in the refrigerator for at least 24 to 48 hours. This will dry out the noodles. The importance of that is vital because if you don't do that, there's a tendency for the noodles to stick and burn to the bottom of the wok. And when you use this method, the noodle will not stick or burn at all. And if you don't do that, particularly if you use the noodle directly after you boil them, it will definitely stick. And the end result is that it will make it very hard to clean afterward. A fried noodle is very much similar to fried rice. Again, fried rice need to store in the refrigerator overnight in order for it not to stick to the bottom surface of the wok. Noodles is almost exactly the same way. And using this method, you can create charring on the noodles, and this browning make the noodle a bit crispy, and this is the essence of chow mein. Now I'm going to remove the noodle from the wok and set it aside. For this chow mein dish, I'm going to use chicken. I'm going to create a chicken chow mein. Now, I coat the chicken first with cornstarch, and this will give the chicken a light, crispy texture. And this will also to keep the chicken moist and tender inside. Advanced prepping will make cooking chicken much easier. I usually use chicken breast for my stir frying. Instead of storing them the way it is, I cut them up into sizes that are available for stir frying, and then I store them in Ziploc sandwich bag to the size that I want, usually about 8-ounce package. Using this method, I can thaw the chicken in a bowl of lukewarm water in about 10 minutes. Okay, now the chicken is about 50% done. I'm going to add some frozen vegetables. Now, frozen vegetables might not be as good as fresh vegetables, but however, they are very convenient. Particularly if you are out of fresh vegetables in your advanced prepping, then frozen vegetables will do a good job. And then I also add some zucchinis. These are fresh zucchinis. Now, the reason I combine them together is that when you have a fresh zucchini in it, it will make the frozen vegetable taste better. The frozen vegetable that I add to the wok has not been thawed out. I discovered the best way to cook the frozen vegetable is to add them directly from the freezer to the wok. This will allow them cook at the same time to be thawed out. And the end result is that they maintain their texture much better. As you can see now, I stir fry all the contents together. The chicken will cook slowly because of the temperature that are reduced by the frozen vegetable. Next, I'm going to add some mushroom. They are white mushroom that are cut in thin slices. The mushroom takes less time to cook. Now, this approach is known as sequential stir frying. I stir fry whatever ingredients that I want to cook less at toward the tail end of the cooking process. This will allow me to cook everything to about the same texture, doneness I want. At this point, I noticed that some of the chicken, the debris from the chicken, stick to the bottom of the wok. And to remove them, one of the best methods is a method known as spot cleaning. So basically what I do is that I use a water squeeze bottle and I squeeze water directly over the area where food ingredients has stuck and burned to the surface of the wok. And this will allow me to use the wok spatula to scrape them off. And I call this method spot cleaning because you basically cleaning whatever you have might stick and burn to the surface of the wok using this method. And the end result is that it's much easier for you to clean the wok later on. Okay, by now the dish is more done. I'm going to flavor it with a small amount of oyster sauce. And this is followed by some hoisin sauce. And then lastly, I happen to have some teriyaki sauce on hand. I decided I'm going to add a little bit to that as well. Now, this method is referred to as flavor chasing. As you can see that I do not have any specific amount that I add to it. I add whatever amount that I'm going to do a taste testing to see how it tastes. And based on my experience, I know how much to add. Last but not the least, I just add some cherry tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes I add way at the end because I want them to retain their texture. And this allow me to cook them in such a way they will still remain intact. And when I bite into it, I will get a nice feel of tomato juice from it. Okay, now the dish is done. The last step is that I'm going to add the noodle that I have fried earlier and mix them all together. And this is the result of a chow mein. And this dish has different kinds of vegetables in it, also have chicken, and then when you mix it with the noodles, it provides the typical flavor characteristic and the texture that you find in a chow mein. Now this dish is relatively simple to make, even though it has quite a few ingredients, and you don't need a recipe because the dish is based on a basic template. And once you familiar with these templates, you can make substitutions of different food ingredients that are used in this dish. And one thing you might want to do is that you can substitute the frozen vegetables with fresh vegetables. You have a lot, you have them in your advanced prepping. This including the broccoli, cauliflower, green bean, asparagus, and sweet peas. Almost anything you can think of. You might need to adjust the timing a little bit, but the overall idea is the same. In addition to choosing different vegetables, you can also change the ratio between them. For example, you might still want to use some frozen vegetable if you want, but you can use more fresh vegetables depending on what you have available. So as you can see, the end result is that you can create a chow mein dish using whatever is available on hand. In this case, use the spaghetti pasta noodles, and you will find that it will taste as good as any other noodles that you use. But the nice thing about the spaghetti pasta noodle is that you have them always available to you. So my goal is to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. Because we all know today it's important to avoid eating fast and ultra-processed food for your long-term health investment. Using this cooking system, you will be able to cook every day from scratch using all fresh ingredients. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.